Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's What's on My Plate. This week, we'll be talking about anxiety. We'll be also making stress balls and making eggs in a hole. But first, what we're going to do, we're going to wait a few minutes, allow some people to join us before we get started on our first activity. Alrighty, so now that we have allowed a few minutes to allow everyone to join, again, I want to welcome all you guys back to another session of What's on My Plate. Again, my name is Shakoy. I'm the youth program coordinator at Frontlines, and I'm glad to be here. So, our topic today is going to be on anxiety. Again, we'll be making eggs in the hole. So, that involves our oven. So, before we start anything today, I would like everybody to go to your oven and preheat it to 400 degrees. I'm only give y'all a minute to go do that real quick. Actually, while you guys are at it, for our first activity, that's not included in your kits today is scissors. So go preheat your ovens and preheat your oven to 400 degrees and go grab a pair of scissors before we get started today. So again, if you're just joining us, we're about to get started. Our topic today is anxiety, and we'll be making eggs in the hole. Before we get started, I'm giving everybody a minute or two to go preheat their ovens to 400 degrees Celsius, and also to go get a pair of scissors. All right, so I hope everyone preheated their oven to 400 degrees and has gotten a pair of scissors. So for our first activity, so since our topic this week is anxiety, for our first activity, we're going to be creating stress balls to help us release some stress. So in your kits, you should see balloons and this powdery substance, which is cornstarch. Okay. All right. So first, what we're gonna do, y'all are gonna need to get some water. So I'm gonna give everybody a minute to get water. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. So grab some water. So once you've got your water, what you're gonna do is get a cup as well, and you're gonna pour some water into the cup. About halfway, half a cup of water. Then what you're gonna do is bit by bit, you're gonna add the cornstarch to the water. And what you're gonna do is keep on adding the cornstarch to the water, and if needed, add a little bit more water. And you want to create a gloopy substance. So you should feel resistance when you try to stir it around quickly, but there should be no resistance when you're stirring it slowly. So we're gonna start. So again, grab your cup, fill your cup up about halfway, and now we're gonna keep on adding cornstarch till we get that gloopy mixture. So you see, I'm mixing. It's still kind of runny for me. Add some more cornstarch. So again, for those of you that may just be joining us, what we're doing right now, we're making some stress balls. So we got some water. You have a cup. You fill your cup up with some water, and you've got cornstarch. You add the cornstarch to the cup, and you want to create a gloopy mixture that when you stir quickly, there is resistance, but when you stir slowly, there is no resistance. Again, keep on adding cornstarch. Don't be afraid to add your cornstarch. Keep on going, keep on going. Keep on adding more cornstarch. Okay. So I don't know if you guys can really see, but I got kind of this gloopy. Since I'm using the fork, I can't really pick it up, but like, yeah, so my mixture is nice and gloopy now. So what I'm gonna do is take my balloons. So I'm gonna take the first balloon and I'm gonna stretch it out a bit. So what you want to do is take your gloopy mixture and you want to pour it into the balloon. There's multiple ways to do this. You could pour your mixture into a water bottle and attach the top to a water bottle so it's easier. Or you can use a funnel or anything you want. So what I'm going to do is add some water here. I'm going to take my water. Take my scissors. Cut out the top of my water. Okay, at the top. So this is going to act like my funnel. So what I'm also going to do is I'm going to take my balloon and attach the opening of my balloon to the top of the water bottle. So that I have it attached. So now I'm going to pour my mixture into the balloon. You guys want to make sure as you're pouring the water, as you're pouring the cornstarch and water mixture into your balloon, you don't get too much air into the balloon. So you might want to like try to squeeze out the air as you're adding the liquid. Just like that. Oops, I'm spilling. Sorry, guys. It's just like that. You want to add it. It should be nice and thick as well. Oops. Okay. So now that you have it filled up a bit, what you want to do is pinch the top and remove it from your filter. Just pinch, oops, and just pull. Sorry, there's a bit of a splatter. Give me a second. Let me just clean you guys up a bit. Sorry about that. Okay. And again, make sure there's not a lot of air in here, so squeeze out as much air as you can. And what you're going to do is once you squeeze out the air, you're going to tie a knot into the balloon. So take your 2 fingers, face it, go around your 2 fingers, and then as you go around, you go through, and ta-da, it's tied. So now what you're going to do is take your scissors, and you're going to cut off above the knot. Don't cut off under the knot. If you cut off under the knot, your balloon's going to open back up. It's going to fall. It's going to spill everywhere. It's going to be a big mess. So you want to cut above the knot. So then you have this little ball with a nice smiley face. So to reinforce this as a stress ball, you're going to take your second balloon now. You're going to cut off the ending, just like so. So you remove these 2 parts. So now you have this big ending. So what you're going to do is take this and you're going to put it over the bump of the other balloon. So you're going to take this and it's going to go over this end. This end, just like that. And you're going to put it, oops. You want to put it over the other balloon, essentially. So I'm going to do it. Let me show you guys. Give me a second here. Ta-da. Now you guys have your stress ball. Just like that, a stress ball. Whoop. See? And like the more balloons you add onto it, the stronger it'll be, so the stronger you'll be able to squeeze it. See? Just like that. All right. So now that that's done, I'm gonna clean up and we're gonna get on to making our eggs in the basket. Give me a second, guys. Okay, so now that we're back, we're gonna start cooking. So we're gonna grab our box over here. So we're gonna grab our box and we're gonna be making eggs in the hole. So what that consists of is, well, eggs in the hole with bacon. So if you don't eat pork, just leave out the bacon, throw it away, save it later, give it to somebody else, donate it, whatever. But you can also enjoy this without bacon. So what you need is, what you see in your kit to make this is bread, chives, bacon, eggs, butter, Parmesan cheese, pepper, and salt. So first thing, what we're going to do is we're going to par cook our bacon. So we're going to line a baking sheet. Like I have here so. And we're going to take our bacon. And we're just going to spread it along our sheet. So I made some bacon just before this. So that's why the sheet looks like this. So we're just going to take this, line the bacon, line sheet. Put the bacon on the line sheet, sorry. Just like so. Now we're gonna take our sheet and we're gonna throw this in the oven. So I hope you guys had your oven preheated at 400 degrees. So now that the bacon's in the oven, we're gonna get started on the rest. So first we're gonna chop up our chives. So take your chives. And you're just gonna chop them up nice and fine like so. Okay, so we have our chives out the way. And you put them to the side. So your chives are chopped up nice and fine like that. We're gonna put those to the side. So now we're gonna get started on what? We're gonna start on the hole in the eggs in the hole. So you have 3 slices of bread, just in case you mess up, but you're gonna use 2. So what you're gonna do is cut a circle, just like so, into the bread. And I'm gonna show you guys how to do that. So we have a slice of bread. So what we want to do is cut a circle into the bread. So what you guys could do to do this is like get a mug and just have the mug imprinted. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna use the other end of our water bottle. So we have a slice of bread. What we're gonna do is make sure our water bottle is in the circle and put it on the center of our bread and just push, put it on the center, take a knife, and we're gonna cut around. Just like so. Now what we're gonna do is just pop our circle out. Now we got our hole. And this, you can put this to the side, use it for something else, or throw it away, whatever you want to do with it. So we're gonna do the same process with the second one. So a piece of bread. Some noodle. Around. Pop out the circle. Just like so. And we got another one. So now that we got our 2 holes, what we're gonna do is grab another sheet to go in, a bacon sheet to go in the oven. So you guys got butter. Now we're gonna butter our bread. So we have our here we have our butter. Just butter. So what we're gonna do is take some of the butter and butter our bread. I know I'm not using a butter knife. Please bear with me. But so you just want to butter one side of the toast of the bread. So once you have one side butter, you're gonna place this side down on the bacon. So your baking sheet, you put the butter side down. Then we're gonna do it the next one. Again, it'd be easier if your butter is room temperature and not cold like mine. It'd be a lot easier. Okay, again, take our sheet and place this butter side down. So now that we have one side, we have our holes in our bread, the one side butter face down on the sheet. Oops. We are going to go to the oven and check on our bacon. So we don't want our bacon fully cooked right now. We want it halfway cooked. So we're going to check to see if it's halfway cooked. 1 second, I go to the oven. So our bacon is par cooked, which is halfway cooked, just like how we want it. So I have my bacon here. So I want to remind you it is hot, so be careful. So what we're going to do, so you might want to take your bacon off the rack and strain it on some paper towels first before you want to start this next step. So we take our half-cooked bacon and we're going to put it across our sheet like that, and it's going to fill the hole. So again, the next one, you're going to cross this over to have something like that. Oops. Just like so. So you're crossed over in the hole. And again with the next one. So. And again so. So we have both our holes crossed with bacon. So this is gonna act like a cushion to hold our eggs. So you wanna, so next what we're gonna do is, do this, take our eggs, right? So what we wanna do is crack our egg into the hole, keeping the yolk intact. So as you can see, we have our holes right here. So we're gonna take the egg, see, so take the egg, crack it, keeping the yolk intact into the hole. Just like so. So I'm gonna do it again for you guys. Take your egg, crack it, and whoop, into the hole, just like so. So now our eggs are in the hole. Y'all get it now? So before we put this into the oven, we're gonna want to season it with salt and pepper, and with our cheese as well. So I'm not gonna put cheese on mine. So we're gonna put salt. So first we're gonna start with our salt. Make sure your egg is nice and seasoned. So that's the salt. Now we're gonna add pepper. And if you want, add your Parmesan cheese now as well. So what we're gonna do now is take this and we're gonna place it in the oven. So yep, so now I'm gonna take this to the oven and I'll be right back. Actually, I'm gonna take this to the oven, I'm gonna clean up and I'll be back for our discussion as we wait on our eggs in the basket to cook. Okay, so now that we got our eggs in the basket in the oven, we just want to cook it until the whites and the yolk are set. And once that's done and the bacon's nice and cooked, we're good to enjoy. So until then, again, our topic today is anxiety. We have our stress ball, so y'all can get squeezing, relieve some stress that way. And this could also be a great resource if you're ever in a situation that may cause you to be anxious or have an anxiety attack. You know what? It's something easy that's in your hand that you just start squeezing whenever you may have this anxious feeling, or even a fidget spinner. Those things that spin. That's been all the craze. Yeah, those are excellent source whenever you're in a situation or an event that may leave you anxious. A great way to gain back some control of yourself. So let's get into it again. If you guys have any questions about anxiety, feel free to use the chat, or feel free to stop me if I say anything that resonates or sparks with you, or if you have something to say about anything that I that I am saying. So anxiety can affect any of us at any time, but at different points in our lives, we can be at greater risk of anxiety. When you're going through big changes, such as becoming an adult, retiring, starting a family, or losing someone we love, can be examples of stressful situations that may increase our risk to anxiety. Experiencing discrimination because of our sexuality, gender identity, ethnicity, or religion can also cause psychological distress and make us much more vulnerable to anxiety as well. These factors may increase our risk of developing anxiety. Trauma, so children who endure abuse or trauma or witness traumatic events are at greater risk of developing anxiety at some point in their life. Adults who experience a traumatic event can also develop anxiety. Another factor is stress due to illness. So having a health condition or serious illness can cause significant worry about issues such as your treatment and your future. So another factor that can increase our risk is a build-up to a large event. So a big event or a build-up of smaller stressful life situations may trigger extensive anxiety. For example, a death in the family, work stress, or ongoing worries about finance. Even your personality. People with certain personality types are more prone to anxiety, anxiety disorders than others. It's just the way we are. And having other mental health disorders, such as depression, often may cause us to have anxiety as well. Even blood relatives with anxiety, it could be passed down that way. And misuse or abuse, even withdrawal of drugs or alcohol, can worsen any anxiety that you have or give you anxiety as well. So you guys hear me say anxiety a lot, but what really is it? So anxiety is a feeling such as worry or fear that can be mild or severe. Everyone has feelings of anxiety at some point in their life. For example, you may feel worried and anxious about you may be feeling worried or anxious about an upcoming exam or a date or even a job interview. During times like this, feeling anxious can be perfectly normal, but some people find it hard to control these worries. Their feelings of anxiety are more constant and can often affect their daily lives. So, like I said before, difficult experience in childhood, adolescence, or adulthood can trigger anxiety problems. Going through stress and trauma is likely to have a particularly big impact if it does happen, even when you're younger. And like I said, we have something in the oven, so give me a sec. Let me check on it, and I'll be right back with y'all. Okay, so I'm back. Still not ready yet. It's almost there. So remember, keep an eye on your oven. You don't want anything to burn or catch on fire. Okay. All right. So where was I? So symptoms of anxiety may start during childhood or even the teen years and continue into adulthood. Anxiety usually has triggers. An event or thought provokes an anxious response. However, most people aren't aware of their triggers and believe they have become anxious for no reason at all. Anxiety is a normal human emotion, as are joy, surprise, fear, and fear. Common reasons for anxiety include social pressure, work, study, or deadline related stress, financial difficulties, relationship problems, health concerns, social social and housing related issues, trauma due to racism or gender prejudice, abuse, and neglect. So again, so if none of you guys have any questions about the information I just gave you, I want to give you guys more coping mechanisms that you can use to help you cope with anxiety. There's nothing that's gonna ever get make you stop being anxious forever. There's only ways you could cope with it and ways that you can learn how to live with it and do with it for yourself in a positive way. So stress ball is one. Some more options would be to question oops would be to question your thought pattern. So negative thoughts can take root in our mind and distort the severity of the situation. One way is to challenge your fears. Ask if they're true and see where you can take back control. You could practice focused deep breathing. So try breathing in for 4 counts and breathing out for 4 counts for 5 minutes total. So you do this. So breathe in and breathe out. And keep on doing that for 5 minutes. By evening out your breathing, you'll slow down your heart rate, which should help you become more calm. Another way is to use aromatherapy. So whether they're in oil, incense, or candle form, scents like lavender, chamomile, and sandalwood can be very soothing. Aromatherapy is thought to help activate certain receptors in the brain, potentially ease anxiety. Go for a walk or do 15 minutes of yoga. Sometimes the best way to stop anxious thoughts is to walk away from the situation. Take some time to focus on your body, not your mind. This may help you relieve your anxiety. You could even write down your thoughts. Writing down what's making you anxious gets it out of your head and makes it less daunting. These relaxation tricks are particularly helpful for those who experience anxiety sporadically. They may also work well with someone who has generalized anxiety disorder when they're in a bind too. However, if if you suspect you have generalized anxiety disorder, quick coping methods shouldn't be the only kind of treatment you employ. You want to find long-term strategies to help lessen the severity and even prevent it from happening at all. So that's some strategies for you guys. I hope someone finds that helpful. So again, I'm gonna go back and check on my eggs in the hole to see if it's set and it's done. All right, so we're back. So don't forget your chives that you can sprinkle on top of your eggs in the hole. But before I show you guys the final product, and before we go, I want to thank you guys all for joining us this week for What's on My Plate. I hope you guys find these workshops insightful, and I hope they do help you learn more about these learn more about mental health. And I really do hope it helps someone out there cope, or I hope I hope you all pass this along to someone going through these mental health issues, and we're all in this together and we can all support each other. So to the final product, our eggs, the whites are set. It's all good to go. So let's see it. So I don't like my eggs runny. That's why it's not runny. So if you guys like your eggs runny, you can go ahead. Mine's semi-cooked, semi-fully cooked, which is good. My bacon's nice and cooked, just like that. Mm, it's really good. So again, thank you guys all for coming. Hope to see y'all next week. Same place, same time. Take care, guys.